Rough Leaders, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to add my voice to the condolences for the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, but I want to give you the link between the British monarchy and Guyana. Now this is a statue of Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria was sort of the grandmother of Queen Elizabeth II. She reigned from 1837 to 1901, I believe, sometime in the 19th century, 1837 to 1901. Those of you who know history, check on that date for me. And it was her son that became the father of Queen Elizabeth II. This is the Supreme Court. Right, as the sign says, it's the Supreme Court and the High Court. It's also one of these colonial buildings left over from colonial times, and somehow the Governor General of that time thought it would be great to put his queen, Queen Victoria, the statue of Queen Victoria, in the grounds of the High Court. So Guyana became independent in 1966 during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. Yeah, Guyana became independent in 1966 because of our the wave of independence in that time, along with the rest of the Caribbean and colonies in Africa. And that is how we left the British Empire, becoming an independent country. But Guyana also joined the Commonwealth, and so we had a sort of association with the Queen, because the Queen was in fact the benefactor of the Commonwealth countries, and so we participated in Commonwealth Games, Commonwealth scholarships. A lot of Guyanese still study in the UK because of our colonial heritage. And so our connection to Queen Elizabeth and previously to Queen Victoria had everything to do with our colonial status. So when you hear now people on two sides of the divide, some celebrating the death of Queen Elizabeth because of the brutality of the British Empire and British colonialism under Queen Elizabeth and Queen Victoria and her father before her, and those also who celebrate, who mourn with the royal family and all of Britain at the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, because they are either still colonies or the Queen is still head of state, as for example in places like Canada and Australia. But you have to understand both sides of this debate, both sides of the divide. The British Empire has actually brought slavery and murder and rape and brutality, along with a certain kind of capitalist greed, so brutal capitalism. And Britain is by no means the only colonial power that did this. The Americans are still doing it. The Germans did it. Belgians did it in Africa and the Congo, and French did it in Haiti. The Spanish did it. Portuguese did it, and so on. It was sort of the thing to do. The Italians did it. So it was a thing to do in the 19th century to go out and simply enslave and subjugate native people around the world. And that is where the anger is coming from. So you have to understand it. It comes from the reign of Queen Victoria, right during the 19th century, when they were doing all this nonsense, and ended during Queen Elizabeth's reign in the 20th century. You know, she started her reign in 1953, and Guyana got independence in 1966, and so on. So the British Empire basically shrank during the Queen Elizabeth's reign. And so that's where all the complexity is coming from. You have to understand both sides of this picture. I, in fact, respect the Queen and the members of the royal family. However, I do have some bone to pick with them at the racism, especially the kind of racism that they still mete out to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. And so I don't really have fond feelings for the firm, which is the company that manages the royal family. But I do sympathize and express my condolences to the royal family, to the British subjects of Queen Elizabeth, and look forward to peaceful relations with Britain and King Charles. That's the story here, guys. The British have left a mark on Georgetown, particularly downtown Georgetown, with all of these colonial buildings, some of them under disrepair and undergoing renovation, like the town hall, city hall, and the courts. Want to see more content like this? Click like and subscribe. Leave a comment below on what you think about the passing of Queen Elizabeth II and the legacy of British colonialism in Guyana, and tell me on which side of this divide you fall, whether you are on the side of those who mourn or on the side of those who are appalled. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening here in Georgia and Guyana. Later!